is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds of lightweight action. This fight brought to you by GBC Fire and Security Limited. Now make some noise for fighting out of the red corner, representing Centurion Club, holding a record of 2-0. Make some noise for Daniele Scagliusi. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, representing Team KF. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen, for Shelley.
You will see that Taekwondo background in his style of striking. Aiden Marin, our third man in the cage. Pro ranks are now 5-minute rounds, and of course, elbows and knees to the head are now permitted. There's that wide Taekwondo stance from Shelley.
Beautiful side kick, lead leg side kick from the Taekwondo man. Gauges distance and range so well because it's something he's pretty much been doing all his life, and that was such a beautiful pivot step on his front foot. Scagliusi trying to get in on the takedown. Shelley saying, staying nice and calm, fighting the wrists. May try and escape out that side. This may circle off into the open forum of the mat.
A lot was thrown into that by Scagliusi. Right hand, and Shelley again, beautiful inside kick.
He just throws a little bit different, does Adam Shelley, compared to Scagliusi.
Scagliusi's got to be careful coming forward like that. Chin was in the air, and that's an absolute dream for a fighter like Adam Shelley.
Yeah,
he's like a sniper. He'll find that chin.
Everything's just landing a little bit shy of the mark for Scagliusi so far. And that's informed by that movement of Shelley. Oh, beautiful piercing jab. Just pierced right through the guard.
You could say his precision was precise with it. Love you, Mike Goldberg. And as you say, Phil, Scagliusi just seems to be out of range with them shots. But difficult when you're fighting such a long fighter like Adam Shelley. Drives into that calf as well.
It's almost like Shelley has an ownership over the cage that intimidates his opponents.
Steps into it. So orthodox stance.
Just picking his shots right now. Again, many people have said, including myself, that Shelley's game is better suited to the pro ranks because he has so much more time with which to work. He's not rushing his work.
It's the easy comparison, but it's that sort of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson style, isn't it? Beautiful spin and drives into the liver.
And again, because he has the full 5 minutes with which to work, he's not rushing.
Nice left hand in there, Phil.
Landed very clean right on the chops. And you have to give Scagliusi credit. He's taking these shots and trying to stay competitive.
Started out aggressive, did Scagliusi at the very start of this round, but he now seems to be more reacting to what Adam Shelley is doing.
I think he tasted the power of Shelley a little bit there and thought he didn't want a big overhand, though.
Yeah. And he won't be phased either, will the Italian? You know, he's...
Oh, that's a big shot. Question mark kick. Went low with it, then just at the last moment completely changed the trajectory of it. Shelley looks like he's really starting to fit into his groove now.
Yeah, you can see, look, all the feints coming, the motions with the hands, all distractions.
Kind of going full Neo here. Is he about to welcome Scagliusi into the matrix?
And the crowd starting almost like an Olay of every touch of a football in a match. They're cheering every shot here.
Big shot again.
But he's got to be careful because Scagliusi he's used to winning. He has that winner's way. He finds a way to victory. So Shelley's got to watch everything he's doing, although it seems to be going his way.
And it's bound to be frustrating for Scagliusi because everything he throws is just grazing Shelley, and that's not by coincidence. That's entirely by design.
Yeah. The distant management is exceptional. There's a game of inches, and Adam Shelley's brought the measuring tape because he has it perfect.
Yeah, if Scagliusi's here to play checkers, Shelley's here to play chess.
Just missed with that head kick as well, Adam Shelley, but all offering so many different looks and switching stances, keeping Scagliusi guessing to what's coming and where it's coming from. Ooh. Spins with the heel and just misses. Big round by Adam Shelley. So Scagliusi has tasted 5 minutes in there. It'll be interesting to see what he adopts to try and get inside that range and get his shots on target. That one just grazed the chin. That's a warning sign. In some ways, though, has Adam Shelley dragged Scagliusi into his style of fight?
I think what he's done is he's made Scagliusi a little bit gun-shy. Knowing that if he goes in recklessly, he's going to get caught. And in doing that, he's forcing Scagliusi to stay on the outside.
And on a single, here's Scagliusi, but there's the use of the elbows, and perfectly done. Oh, stands out, and Travis Brown knocking people out with it. He's going to use the Kimura trap, but he's viewing it to distract and then throw the elbows.
And at 155 pounds and 6'2 and a half, there are so many sharp edges on Shelley. Scagliusi trying to switch to the high crotch. Doesn't quite have it. Nice elbow coming over the top.
Reaches over for the elbow, and he's just trying to tie up the left wrist of Scagliusi, and that will allow him to throw shots. That's what he's doing. He's going to try and circle out the back. Good wide hips and sprawl, and good movement, Adam Shelley. Well navigated. That's got to frustrate Scagliusi too.
Oh, beautiful head kick.
It's the no-tell, Phil, just the way it's flicked up, effortless.
And a real hallmark of Shelley's fighting style is not just his strikes, but also how calm he is, how loose he is. And that gives credence to the power that he can then create with his shots because he's not tense. Oh, beautiful. Digs that right into the body.
Yeah, drives it into the body of Scagliusi, and he felt that one. Trying to catch the kick and wide base by Shelley.
The scope here. Nice wide base being exhibited here by Shelley. Scagliusi doesn't quite have the hands connected. Has the hands connected now. May try and run the pipe on a single. But nice elbow from Shelley.
This needs to be gotten to. You'd almost feel for Scagliusi's confidence in the fight to build some momentum, to offer some offense and get Adam Shelley thinking defensively. This will be a huge moment.
And we talk about psychological battles. Scagliusi is, by his own admission, a striker first. What Shelley's done is he's been able to force the striker into closing the distance and shooting for the takedown.
It's just on the feet, Phil. He cannot get in the inside or find that range of Shelley. Calling for the break is Chris Fields. Press square on the joypad, and his player done it. Nice right hand, just off target.
And it's something we saw in earlier fights, that constant switching from southpaw to orthodox. It does not allow your opponent to settle at all, because they can't then make reads because the shots are coming from different directions. Lovely head movement. from Shelley.
Spins, goes to the body again, and almost a back step, and the corner feels he is hurt. I think he is as well. I think that body shot took a lot out of him. Just a slip. Can Scagliusi take advantage? Back to his feet. The corner urging Shelley out to put pressure. They feel their opponent is suffering here. Goes high with the kick there, Scagliusi himself, but does seem to be retreating a little here, Phil.
Nice work to the body, and it's the accumulation of shots. It's the money in the bank that Shelley has built up over the course of the first and second rounds here. Again, we liken it a lot of the time to that power bar you have in Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. The more you hit, it doesn't have to be big shots, but it will deplete until you finish your opponent. I'd like to see Shelley disengage in this position, but 10 seconds left in the round. He has no need to do anything rash.
Adam, look at him.
What I would like to see, and this is me just being hypercritical because it's been a fantastic performance from Shelley. I'd like to see him turn up the frequency ever so slightly and get the finish, which I know he is more than capable of doing.
Yeah, that's going to be the definitive thing in this fight, isn't it? If he can get the finish, and again, it almost sounds like
that's just being hypercritical. It's being hypercritical.
Scagliusi as well, but there's potential that he still has a game opponent in front of him, although he does start to look a slightly defeated man, but it's MMA, Phil. Anything can happen.
Shelley doesn't so much move back as he glides back. Nice shot there from Scagliusi. Managed to land a hook of his own.
In on a single, center of the cage. Can he get the takedown? Good balance by Shelley. Goes to the wide base up against the cage. Trying to drive in right in front of us. Trying to pick that right leg and ankle.
Shelley trying to break the grip with the wrist control, does so.
And lands a little short, sharp elbow as well.
Trying to raise that level of his opponent up so he can't clasp his hands underneath him.
In on a single here.
Nice switch to high crotch.
Nice elbows, but Scagliusi is really giving everything he has left to get this takedown.
A little bit of blood coming from Scagliusi, I think.
Could be from them downward elbows here.
Be interesting to see if he's marked up after the break, if there is one.
Excellent balance by Shelley. Scagliusi just cannot elevate, cannot turn the corner, cannot unbalance his opponent.
Nice short, sharp elbows coming from Shelley there.
You can see what Shelley's doing. Look the way he's trapping that
so
left
smart.
hand. Yeah.
Astute observation, Mr. O'Keefe.
Now he's going to try rain down an elbow, switches hand, passes over to his left hand. Will bring that right elbow out and try and land an elbow.
But Scagliusi's bound to know at this stage that this isn't enough for him. He needs to get a finish if he wants to win this fight. And again, he's still taking a lot of punishment in this position. Chopping those elbows in.
And that's the subtle difference, Phil, isn't it, between pro and amateur? Like these shots wouldn't be available to Adam Shelley in the amateur ranks.
And again, that's what I mean when I say his all-round approach to mixed martial arts is better suited to pro. And it's just the calmness with which he slips out of the way of those punches. And unfortunately for Daniele Scagliusi, you can't hit what's not there.
And Scagliusi almost looks like he's almost fearful of throwing his shots, isn't he? Because he knows what's coming back, but chases in, looking for that double again. But we're almost at 15 minutes to 3 rounds here, and he has not had success in getting that takedown.
And he has eaten an innumerable amount of elbows in this position.
So Somebody have a bag of ice ready out the back, and that head is gonna be lumpy. Changes the attack on the opposite leg.
Nice work from Shelley there just to raise that level of Scagliusi, and again with the elbows.
Somebody's gonna have to figure out the back, the translation for, no, I'm not allergic to anything, please give me a painkiller. Because that head is gonna be throbbing.
And again, it's not a position that Scagliusi was got. If anything, I would give the ascendancy and the plaudits there to Shelley, who was doing the more offensive work with those elbows.
I almost think Scagliusi was looking at this as well. This is probably
The
best
safest.
of the worst that I'm dealing with here.
It's probably the most protective I can make myself at this stage.
Looks tired. He looks out of ideas.
Again,
And he's starting to react to every little feint that Shelley's throwing here as well. Throws up a question mark, Scagliusi. Nice right hand by Shelley.
This is where I would like to see Shelley turn it up.
Yeah. There's a 10-second clapper.
You have to call that a fantastically well-rounded, measured performance from Shelley.
And it has to be said, Phil, as well, you know, coming off your professional debut with a loss, a lot of pressure coming into this second fight, and you're fighting a 3-0 opponent, so that's a lot of pressure, and I thought Shelley dealt with it beautifully in there.
You wouldn't have known that there was any hint of any kind of pressure being placed upon Adam Shelley in that fight. His striking was just absolutely sumptuous. The way he was able to slip punches, get himself into those areas where he could land his own strikes and get out, very, very smart.
And congratulated by one of the best Ireland has produced, veteran Cathal Pendred, has now appeared in the corner.
And your winner, folks, by unanimous decision, fighting out of the blue corner.